Hi everyone, this is Yaron. I wanted to mention that I will not be doing a video every week or every 2 weeks. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but life gets in the way. I'm still working on my 2020 vinyl tag. But today I would like to discuss my favorite 10 albums, my Desert Island 10 albums. If I had to take them, those are the last albums I'd have to listen to in the next, I don't know, 10 years of my life or the rest of my life. These are my top 10, no particular order. A lot of those involve maybe a video that I will do in the future of what's your favorite album of a particular band and why. So let's get to it. Favorite 10 albums of mine. AC/DC, Back in Black. I was never an AC/DC fan as a teenager or a kid. Thought, you hear about a band and you think, oh, that's heavy metal, or I don't like it, and you never give it a chance. I bought the album somewhere around 2000, never listened to it. I knew the song Back in Black and never listened to the rest of the album. 5 or 6 years later, I started listening to it and I realized that I have missed out pretty much my whole life. One of my favorite hard rock albums of all time. Every song is amazing. Even You Shook Me All Night Long. I just love every song on this album. Next one. It's going to be debatable, but Queen, The Works. Queen is my favorite band of all time, and I love all their albums, but to me The Works is their greatest album. And this is when I was exposed to Queen. I was 8 years old. Radio Gaga came out on TV, and I fell in love as an 8-year-old, not even knowing anything about music. I fell in love with Radio Gaga. A few years ago I listened to the Greatest Hits and Live Killers and Love of My Life. Live version from Live Killers is my favorite, and I have a warm spot in my heart for The Works. Next one is Achtung Baby. I always debate with myself whether I like Achtung or Joshua Tree better. And it comes down, if you break it song by song, Joshua Tree has 2 songs I'm not crazy about, and Achtung Baby has only 1. But I think this is perfect. They transform themselves, and it's just a perfect album. I am hoping that U2 will do a Achtung Baby tour just like they did a Joshua Tree tour. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I plan on being there. This, by the way, is the uncensored version with Adam naked here. I don't know if we can show it on YouTube or not. Album not in great shape. Cover is. Next in line is Traveling Wilburys, Volume 1. I bought the album years ago. Man, I bought the CD many years ago when it was out of print, and I liked a couple of songs, and it took me years to listen to the whole album beginning to end. And Bob Dylan is one of my favorite performers. I love Jeff Lynne. I miss Tom Petty. I love Roy Orbison's voice, and George Harrison was just George Harrison. This is one of those albums that back in the days of CDs, every road trip, when you packed 20 or 30 CDs into a little wallet, every road trip that we ended up taking, Traveling Wilburys ended up in that package, in that CD wallet. It's just a magical moment of 5 of the greatest performers of all time getting together and making a perfect album, and didn't take themselves too seriously. I love it. Nothing much to say about this one. It is my reference album when I want to check my stereo, when I want to try it. I love Mark Knopfler. Seen him a few times. I wish Dire Straits would do a full tour. It'll never happen. But I just think it sounds amazing. And here's a funny story. I had a copy of Brothers in Arms that was my reference copy. Sounded amazing. While trying out turntables a few years ago, I turned around in my living room, which is not that big. We'll get to the tour one day. I turned around and dropped it on the floor, and it chipped. It's the only album I ever broke or chipped, and it was my perfect copy of Brothers in Arms. I've been buying them ever since, and this is the closest one that I got to the one that I have. I do have the Mobile Fidelity version, which is amazing. Next one. That is number 1, 2, 3. This is number 6. Are You Experienced? I was 16. I never really heard Hendrix much. I was 16 and Crosstown Traffic came out on some jeans commercial, and I was like, hey, who is that guy? And the guitar sounds really cool, and I realized it's Jimi Hendrix. And I bought some greatest hits and eventually got the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced, and this album, it's the first album of Jimi, studio album, and it's technically the greatest hits. Purple Haze, Manic Depression, Hey Joe, Love or Confusion, May This Be Love, I Don't Live Today, The Wind Cries Mary, Fire, Third Storm from the Sun, Foxy Lady, and Are You Experienced? Are you kidding me? I love this album, this particular copy. I think it's close to an original. I bought it, I was so excited to find it, and it's got a big warp and it doesn't play song number 1, but I have some other issues of this album, not my own issues. Next in line, number 7, REM, Automatic for the People. I like REM's early stuff, but when I really fell in love with them is with what is the other one? Sorry about that. With Out of Time. Well, fell in love with them with Out of Time, of course. And Automatic for the People. It's a perfect album. It's, again, one of those that ended up on every road trip when we needed something more mellow. It's a work of art. Next one, Born to Run. For many years, I really liked Bruce Springsteen. I wasn't in love with him. I loved some of the songs. I wasn't that much in love with him and I've had the CD for many years until I started, and I used to listen to the hits. Until I started listening to the CD beginning to end. And then I saw Springsteen in 2008 and I became a Springsteen believer. The guy is amazing. This is a work of art. Like I mentioned in the other video, Thunder Road, one of the greatest songs of all time. Number 9, Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, Exile on Main Street, and Sticky Fingers. I mean, these are 4 albums that are, one after the other, amazing, amazing albums. I mean, creativity was like exploding. I used to hate Exile on Main Street. I used to have a co-worker who would blast it every morning when we set up the store. I used to work at a grocery store, and I really disliked the album. Until I listened to it on my own, not at 5 o'clock in the morning in a grocery store. It is raw. It's after reading Keith Richards' book, Life, I realized they recorded it in like a basement in his castle or whatever. Everything, it wasn't, it sounds raw, it sounds live, and it's got some of their greatest hits. It's a little too long, but I really like it. My last one is Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. I'm a huge Dylan fan. I've seen him 13 times over the 20 plus years I've lived here in the United States. Fell in love with him when I was 17, 18, somewhere around there, and Blood on the Tracks, it's the perfect breakup album or broken heart album. Tangled Up in Blue, I love the harmonica solo. Idiot Wind, I always quote the line of "You're so stupid, it's a wonder that you still know how to breathe." And it's just every song, Buckets of Rain, Shelter from the Storm, If You See Her, Say Hello. You feel the pain and you feel the love. Or lost love. Or love that gotten away. Or love with regret. In any case, these are my 10 Desert Island albums. I know none of them is that unique. A lot of them are most popular, but they're mine. They're mine albums. They're my albums. And it's my Desert Island. Thank you so much, and we'll do another video soon.